Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman, Wargamer. It's a brand new game I've just received from the GMT stable, and something a little bit different. It is Banish the Snakes. The game designed by Kevin McPartland and Jerry Shiles, with graphics by Terry Leeds. And the graphics was one of the things that attracted me to the game. So what's all this about? Banish the Snakes is a cooperative or solitaire game that simulates Ireland in the 5th century, while the Roman Empire was collapsing in the west and Ireland was turning into a Christian religion. Players represent saints, Patrick and others, up to 6 of you, who set out to transform the island. You must work as a team to convert the people of Ireland before the barbarians completely overwhelm Britain. If you fail, the Irish will not be able to save civilization in the following centuries. The game board shows a map of Ireland in the 5th century with 4 provinces, the same as today, but no counties yet. Wooden tiles represent the people, druids, chiefs and kings, and of course the High King of Tara. It is your job to break into the interrelated influences between these factions and get your new ideas accepted. You will receive unpredictable levels of support from your new converts as you build churches and debate druids throughout the island. A card is drawn each turn, throwing new challenges at your team. The severity of the event is determined by the previous card, so no 2 games can ever play the same. The cards introduce events and ideas of the time, new saints and historic figures, like the infamous Kneel of the 9 Hostages. There is a diagram of Great Britain to keep track of the steady decline of Roman civilization in Great Britain. As different parts of Britain succumb to the barbarians, more and more challenges are added to the deck, until finally Britain is overwhelmed, cutting off Ireland from the continent and ending the game. If you succeed in your endeavour, Christianity will thrive in Ireland, while paganism overruns Western Europe. The arts, writing, literature and history will flourish on the Emerald Isle. Soon Irish missionaries will bring these civilising attributes back to Great Britain and mainland Europe. As Thomas Cahill says in his book, the Irish will save civilization. But if you fail, literacy and written history will be snuffed out in Ireland, and the Dark Ages will continue for hundreds of more years in Europe. Crikey! So, a very different game for me, and we'll see how we get on with this. Here we can see some of the bits and pieces. It looks like a block game. Some stickering will be occurring, cards and the like. So in the box we have one mounted game board, 25.5 inches by 22 inches, so a little bit smaller than standard. A rule booklet and one play booklet, including designer notes. 91 cards, 6 player mats, 6 player pawns, 1 custom player turn marker, 100 plus wood blocks representing sort of people, druids, kings and the like, and 45 wood pieces that represent the players and churches and dolmens. 2 block label sheets and 1 6-sided custom die, which we can see here. Ages 14 plus, players 1 to 6, and the playing time 90 to 120 minutes. And on the game meter here, the complexity is only 3 out of 9. So very low complexity, and the solitaire suitability right at the top at 9 out of 9. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. The old shrink wrap is off, and just love the artwork on this box lid. One of the reasons for me having a punt on this game was the sort of contemporary looking artwork. It's in a 3-inch box. So, let's open the box. And the first thing we see is the rulebook. Love the design of the cover. So let's have a look at that. This rulebook is just 15 pages, full colour, matte paper. So we've got the table of contents here with an introduction, game contents, different blocks here, and the card overview. There we go, showing you what's what. Oh, look at that, lovely. How to set your game up. To say, I know this is only a artist's representation, but I just love the artwork. The player turn. Event cards. Paganism in Great Britain. Removing and replacing people. Removing and replacing leaders and the actions you can do. Oh dear, death. Is that it? Yeah, and then the game end. It can end in 4 ways, evidently. The results of that, and we can increase or decrease the levels of play. And here we are, solitaire play. Not much on it, so it looks like it's pretty straightforward. So like most cooperative stroke solitaire games, you can play with one, in this case, saint, but it might be better to play like 2 or 3, as you do with most of these cooperative games. So there we are. And an index for the key terms with some tables and reminders on the back. Them's the rules. Next, there is another 15-page booklet, this time the Playbook, historic background and example of play. So we've got an introduction and some of the characters, or the characters in the game. I do find this, on reflection, a little bit hard to read, but that's a minor issue. Notable action cards. There's that Kneel of the 9 Hostages. Arthur. So rather than a playbook that I'm more used to with scenarios and things in it, there's just one way to play the game, it looks like. So this playbook is introducing the characters and some of the cards, and now we've got an example of play, which is great to see. And an influence diagram with an explanation here. There we go. Next, there are 6 player cards, which are all the same, it looks like, except for the sort of colour of the icon in the top right-hand corner. Let's have a look at one of those. So it looks like we place our saint here, and we can measure things called zeal and action points, and the good old convert attempt slider. Keep your cards down here. And on the other side, it looks virtually the same on the other side, except I think this zeal track is a bit shorter. And of course, an acolyte is placed there because your saint has departed. A couple of sheets of stickers. Here's the first one, and apologies for the weird shadows. It's quite sunny over here in merry old England, so apologies for that, but these look rather nice. I, of course, haven't much of an idea at the moment what they are. Here's the second sheet. And then there's the mounted board. Once again, I can't quite get the map all into the picture, but as you can see, nice looking map. So I think we can see the 4 provinces here. Let's have a quick look round the board. So here's the top of Ireland, and I'm not going to try and pronounce these. My Irish subscribers wouldn't be very pleased. But as you can see, as we move down the map of Ireland, I think a very nice looking map. And down at the bottom, again with shadows, but over on the right hand side, we've got places to put our cards. A sort of running track of paganism, I think this is, of Great Britain. Here we've got Scotland cards, Strathclyde cards, and down the bottom, England cards, and the track continues until the game ends. There we go, that's the game board. Next, the custom die. Well, it's green, and it has a shamrock for number 1. We've got a bag of discs, and the grey ones, I believe, represent level 0 churches. Some more blocks, and the cubes represent level 1 churches, I think. Still more blocks, and the little house looking blocks are your level 2 churches. And then some meeples, different colours, and what looks like an unfinished bishop chess piece. It hasn't got the slit across here. But those here are your level 3 churches. And then just to finish off, a couple of bricks of cards. Here are 6 sort of player aid cards. On one side we've got the influence diagram, and on the other, the player actions. Next, a nice deck of event cards. And I haven't got much of a clue what's going on, but again, the art is so contemporary, I love it. All the pix attack. Arthur, King of the Britons. So lots there. And then there's cards which have Gift of the Spirit on the back of them. Bell of the Testament, Book of Armagh, St. Patrick's Breastplate. There we go. And then we have the saints themselves. I believe that says at start saint. Palladius. There's Patrick. So lots of those. There we are. That's everything in the box. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing of one of GMT's brand new games. Banish the Snakes, St. Patrick in Ireland, designed by Kevin McPartland and Jerry Shiles, with great graphics from Terry Leeds. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and found it interesting. This sort of religious themed game is new to me, so we'll see how we get on with that. But if you did enjoy it and you haven't done so already, it would be great if you would consider subscribing to the channel. It does help. Pushing the like button of the video helps as well. And if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then push that old bell. As always, leave a comment. I'll go into this game with an open mind, and you can make your own mind up when I do my playthrough. But let me know, what do you think? Because I love to read them. Thanks as always to my subscribers. Thank you so much. And just before I go quickly, if you want to support the channel a little bit further, well, now you can. You can buy the channel a coffee, and a link for that is in the description, or you can push the super thanks button underneath this video, either of which will be gratefully received by the channel and myself, and does help to keep the channel ticking along with bits and pieces, so thank you. Right then, that's Banish the Snakes, and I hope you can join me for the next video, but until then, as always, you take care, and goodbye.